Hello, hello, and we are back with the Change Starts Here. This episode, we're going to talk about understanding spirituality for beginners and novices, and introduction to spirit guides, how to communicate with them, how to understand the way they communicate with you, and how to really make that connection so that they can be an active part of your life so that we can just move forward easily and effortlessly. Today I have London. He is a newcomer today. We also have one of our favorites, Nicole, and another favorite, Harriet. How are you guys today?
Hello.
Doing good. Glad to be here.
All right, so Harriet has great news for us. I'm going to let her share it. What's your wonderful news?
Well, for me, and I hope for a lot of you guys that have been going through challenges for
Ugh,
quite some time, including computer glitches, including car accidents.
ugh.
I've heard all of it. So Mercury retrograde is ending tomorrow, finally.
Yeah, it been tomorrow too, so just makes sense.
Yay!
Man, when
What
I
kind
tell
of
you I
event?
have been going through it with
Are
Mercury
you
retrograde, this is like the worst one I think I've ever had.
really? And
Mhm.
why do you feel
Orders
that?
getting mixed up, orders getting lost, my computer going totally out. Thank God no car accidents or anything like that. But I
Right.
have a lot of friends that did have those.
Same
Think
here.
about the crazy weather we've been having. It's just
Yeah,
been weird. It's been a wild ride.
It has been. My son and his, no, no, no. My son's wife got into a car accident again. It's like the second time in 5 months that they've gotten into a car accident. Luckily, they're both safe and sound, perfectly fine, but their car, unfortunately, is not.
Yep.
So that's a definite real thing that's happening. Car accidents are horrible.
Yeah. So
What
I'm
about you,
just
Nicole? Did you
happy.
have anything crazy?
Not really. I kind of, for the first time, I had like the opposite effect. It was very good. I mean, things were going well. But the weather, I completely agree with. I mean, that's bonkers. I mean, just life itself, current events, I should say, are crazy. But yeah, my life has actually been pretty great.
Ah, you show off.
glad to hear it though.
Awesome to hear. Awesome to hear.
Yes. And then so tomorrow starts the spring equinox. So spring is tomorrow also. Mercury
Yay.
retrograde in. So it's like yay.
Total
All
yay.
sunshine and roses.
Yay. And beautiful weather. Nicole was saying she even had beautiful weather all the way up in God knows where in Minnesota. What was
Yay.
your
Yeah, it was
weather?
beautiful today. 50s. We have no snow left. It's the birds are migrating. It's awesome.
All
Spring
right.
is tomorrow.
Yep. It
Nice.
is.
Now we just need good weather, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is it in a lion out with a lamb? Out like a lamb?
Yes.
Isn't that
It's the lion out like a lamb, or vice versa. But we kind of had it. It went in like a lamb, and it's kind of staying as a lamb. But the middle was what's just utter chaos.
all right? Well, we hope that all of you are celebrating with us that Mercury retrograde will be over tomorrow. Harriet tells us it's going to be over at 3:30 tomorrow Eastern Standard Time, correct?
Correct.
So for all of you who are in other time zones, mark it and definitely have a drink
And
because
universal time it's 10 p.m. because of the time change all over. But yeah. Eastern Standard Time 3:32, I believe. So because if
awesome.
something happens at 3:30, like I'm 3:32.
real, guys. All right, so we're going to start our episode now, understanding spirituality and how to bring it to people who are not familiar with spirituality, who are even afraid of spirituality because of what their doctrine may teach them, and why you should not be afraid, and how the similarities blur all the lines across all religions, all beliefs, whether you believe it or not. We're here to tell you about it. So I think this is a good thing for London to start with today.
Okay. I guess when it comes to if your religion makes you fear spiritual things, I'd say that you're already very spiritual, especially if you're into religion, because religion is a mechanism of spirituality. A lot of religion is saying the same thing at their base. At the core of religion, it's trying to show you the same light. So if you're religious, you're already spiritual in a way. It's just a way. It's a mechanism that is easier for you to consume. Maybe it's based off your culture or where you grew up, but it is a mechanism that is used to enter that realm of spirituality in whatever form it presents itself as. So learning about spirituality is nothing to be afraid of, and it's a way to, even if you are religious, you can be spiritual and grow in your religion as well. So I think that having a standoff feeling about it comes from stigmatized things you see that aren't really true, and that spirituality is a personal thing at the end of the day. So it's really showing you what's on the inside. It's a personal journey. That's what spirituality is. So you can, when you define it as something negative or something to be afraid of, that's looking through a framework that is trying to keep you in a certain, in a certain mindset. It's trying to keep your brain only focused on one thing, when spirituality can be so much more. So I don't think it's something to fear at all. And especially if you're religious, you're already spiritual. You're using a mechanism that is, part of your culture, or how you grew up, or like I was saying. So I don't quite have much more to say about it. But that's kind of my idea about it. I feel like it to fear it is like, it reminds me of like, it's like the Salem witch trials or something like that. Like, it has nothing to do with these outside things that are not a part of spirituality at all. So I think like it's something that you're probably more familiar with than if you're religious, or if you feel some way about it. I think it's just really spirituality is just a natural thing, and it's nothing to fear. It's nothing to fear.
I think that's absolutely true. And let's think about it like this. How many of you have prayed? Of you three? All of you?
Yeah.
How
Sure.
many of you have meditated? Right. Meditation is another form of prayer. How many of you have cast a spell on somebody? Really, I just want to say that casting, people are afraid of witches. A true witch, is somebody who takes care of nature and well-being. They do a lot of natural healing. They use a lot of herbs. And when they cast a spell, it's nothing more than focused meditation. They may do rituals, but it's still a form of meditation, and meditation is a form of prayer. No matter how you come at communicating with the greater being, if you break it down, it's all the same.
Agree.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And
Agree.
um, you were saying, can you go back to what you were saying, what you just said in the beginning? Because I want to add something to that.
Well, go ahead and add it.
No, what you're saying again? Do you remember? It's okay if not.
No, I was just saying it's all the same. Meditation, prayer, casting
Casting,
spells.
yeah, okay, that's what I want to speak on. Because I make music, and I feel like I've been making music for a very long time. Not a long time, but I'm probably like 10 years, and I have seen it in a way that it can feel like magic when you're
Mm,
making music, and um when you get into a certain vibe and you see the whole crowd coming together and all being part of that, and putting your intentions into it in a positive way and trying to bring people together to be happy and have fun, and doing it with music, it can feel like magic in a way. I feel like, because you're just able to you're able to spread that, that intention that you have, that by whatever emotion it is, you're able to have someone feel it, and just by hearing the sounds that you make. So I
And
definitely
you,
think it's similar in that way.
Well,
and
that's
think
very.
about,
Go ahead,
I
Harriet.
was going to say, think about it, London. Like if we can go to a religion setting, spirit and music go hand in hand, because if you're
Yeah.
in a
Eh,
church,
yeah.
and you hit the right note, your
And
legs go to tapping, and you might stand up for a minute, and that's not a part of
yeah,
religion. That's some kind of spirit hitting you. That's some.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And even when you're meditating, a lot of people listen to music.
That's right.
And even when, the drumming, that is a
Yeah.
kind of music.
Yeah.
Um, all of that music, and I mean, when you, like you're saying, when you're in church, that music can lift you up. That music can bring you down, not just church music, but any kind of music. And
Yeah.
that's all affecting your vibration, which is affecting you spiritually in your deepest of your soul. So there's no escaping spirituality. No matter how fiercely you cling to your religion or your culture, it is all tied to spirituality.
And another analogy, I just thought about it. Think about if you're not in a church setting. Think about how music make people do lucid things without having any type of other influence. Think of the Beatles,
Right,
BTS right now. Those groups make people go crazy. They
Mhm.
really
right.
do. People go crazy. So it's something to that. It's something to the energy within
Absolutely.
it.
Mhm.
So spirituality comes in all forms. So how would you, Nicole, since I feel like you're probably the newest to the whole spiritual world, and you've just taken the deep dive in the ocean with it, and you're just bathing in spirituality. If you had to go back to someone that you know currently and in the past, and they're not spiritual, how would you approach them to talk to them about it?
you, I don't know. I guess um, I mean, you have to view it as like you are, um, you're talking to someone beside you. You're talking to your best friend. You're talking to yourself. You're talking to your mom, your dad, whatever the case may be. Um, you know, the thing that I had the hardest time overcoming, and I think that this is kind of a roadblock for many is, church. It doesn't matter what denomination. It's very formal. It's very ceremonial and strict and whatnot. And that always, I kind of felt odd about that. I mean, I just didn't feel connected. And I thought, if my spirit guides are part of me, and then why wouldn't I just talk to them like I would talk to any of you? And that really helped me a lot, and kind of rid myself of the ceremony, and just have my own thing. I still go to
Your
church.
biggest fear, though, what did you think would happen if you started believing in a spiritual life versus maybe one just of straight religion?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there is, I mean, and I've heard it myself about anybody who can, who is an intuitive or can talk to people. You know what the funny thing is? Everything that Jesus did in the Bible would, during this time and age, make him evil. He did reading, he healed the sick, he talked to spirits, he claimed that he could hear God. A person now, and now this is easing up a little bit, but a person now that would claim all the things that Jesus did would be an evil person.
They'll be in the psych ward.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, because they would not believe it, but because it has been passed on for centuries and centuries, and of course, you know, it, everything gets lost in translation. So none of what we're saying now or reading now is accurate because there
Right.
was so much that was left out or taken out intentionally
Yes.
because to me religion became more of this is a way for us to control the masses. We have to do it like this. So if we say these things, everybody will be in line and in order. As you know, Jesus wasn't a sin. In the Egyptian, he was I think it's called therapy, where because they were healers. So that's what
Right.
he was. He was a healer, and
Absolutely.
and then he became something else because he was a healer.
Right. Right.
And they were like, this is the perfect person to do this, to get our people in alignment, you know. And there were many like him that came before him
Right.
because we were
And
taught,
after.
yes, but because we
Yeah.
were taught certain things and we took it as the gospel, and that was it. Nobody questioned it. So I would say, Nicole, for people that you may want to talk to, say, well, just do a little bit of research.
Yes.
Um,
When you start doing a little bit of research, you start to shift.
Right.
The funny thing is, a lot of people would feel like what you're saying is blasphemous.
Yeah, but I can look it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think the first thing that people ask me is if you tell them you're spiritual, they literally will ask you, do you believe in God? Well, yes. Yeah, I probably believe in God equally or more fiercely than you because I believe that I am one with God. I believe that God works through me. I believe, do you believe in Jesus? Yes, I do believe in Jesus. I may not believe in him in the exact same contents as you do, But I definitely believe he existed. I definitely believe he was an amazing man. I definitely believe he did miraculous things. Absolutely, I believe in Jesus. And I believe in angels. And I believe in all kinds of things that you may not even be aware of that helps you every day on a daily basis. For example, spirit guides. But I think that's when people don't understand that, uh, because they worry that you believe in the devil and use demonic powers to do spiritual things when it's actually absolutely 100% the opposite.
Yeah.
I think we align with source itself to create all of the things that are around us, and um, and use his name as a step up instead of, a step down.
Yeah, because I don't know, there's just so much um, that we were taught in general. And we were taught to do certain things, we were taught to obey. We said this light is actually red, so you stop. You don't go on red, even though a lot of people go on yellow.
Yes, they do.
So I'm just saying, there's always that point where people like, maybe I'm gonna do the straight and narrow because that's just what I was taught without questioning things. I've just never been that person. I question everything and I figure out what is truth, and it doesn't have to be your truth. It just happen to
Right.
be my truth.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what works for me. And but I'm just not going to say, okay, if that's what you say, then okay. Just not going to do that. And I just would tell everybody, there's some things that you're questioning, especially now, because all four of us, this energy that's on this little box in front of us, are in different places.
Right.
We're all in different places. And so if you wanted to figure out how this works, a lot of people do that, but sometimes it's hard for us to unlearn things that we have
Yes.
learned.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that, the people at the church and they just got it wrong. It's just you hear your grandmothers and well, this is the way my grandmother did it. This is the only way to make biscuits. Is this how she did it?
Right.
No, there are a lot of ways to make biscuits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and like London said, it's a personal journey. Spirituality is truly a personal journey.
Yes.
And no one's experience is exactly the same. And even though we are all sitting here, all four of us together, and for those of you who are watching who are spiritual or religious or somewhere in the middle, everybody's journey is different and everybody's interpretation of what is being said right now is different. There's going to be certain things that they grab and they hold on to, like, because it resonates in their soul, right? And then some things don't resonate with them. And I always say, if it doesn't resonate with you, let it fall away. It's okay.
Yes.
So they may love what London's saying or love what Nicole and Harriet's saying, and they may or may not love what I'm saying, but I'm speaking from my truth, just as the rest of you are. And it's just a journey. We all come in, we have a beginning, we all walk the roads, and I say that with an S, to come to the end. That journey on those roads in between may be incredibly different, but it all leads to the final destination.
And what London was saying was absolutely correct. Saying, if you're religious, you're spiritual, but people don't put those two together.
Right.
Yeah.
Because think about it, when you're in church, you'll
Mhm.
say like Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Say
Literally.
it all the time. You have
Exactly.
so many songs about Holy Spirit. So
Mhm.
Right.
they just don't, make them relate to each other.
Well, you know, connecting with source or whatever you want to call it, and it's just a way to do it with a couple extra steps, I think.
Yep.
So, and some people really do need that group to be. They need that whole
Community.
energy to feel it. And that's not something that I always wanted. That always made sense to me. But I know for some people, that's what works, is to be a big part of a big group. But I don't think that should steer you off of your, learning about spirituality and learning about the broader ways that your energy can affect your life. Because church is only going to, talk about it in a very tunnel vision kind of way.
Yeah.
I think there's just so much more that being a human, there's just so much more to it. And I think that, I just agree, there's a lot of parallels. If you're religious, you're already spiritual. So.
Well, I think another question people always have is, aren't you afraid of the devil? No.
I think when it comes to the devil, I'm not a big believer in like that kind of thing. I think that like being, I believe the devil as a symbol, as symbolism. And I believe that people bring hell amongst themselves through karma. Do I think there's a big scary beast? I don't know. But what I'm saying is like, it's not real in the way that love is real, because you can't have anything. Nothing can grow without love. Nothing can be created without love, like literally nothing. So having hate and chaos and destruction, there's no means. The only means to an end is the end there. So it's just something that I just steer towards the positive, because I can easily always see how negativity and all that stuff can lead to just nothing else but chaos and destruction. So, and I see it, and I do see like satanic symbolism and entertainment and the world, everything that goes on right now. But I see it just as that. It's not something that's real. It's something that is real in the way that it can only destroy and lead to destruction. So I when it comes to the devil or things like that, I think that spiritually it's not something to be afraid of, because if you're on a spiritual journey, that has nothing to do with if you're looking to get into Satan or something like that, you're going off the deep end into chaos. That's how I see it. I don't think it. I just, when you see it like that, you say, oh, if you're doing spirituality, that's blasphemy. It has nothing to do with it. My mind just doesn't comprehend it. I just see it as something completely separate. But that's just my personal idea about it. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that had a near-death experience, and I see a lot of people talk about it to say, I barely made it back because that devil was after me. I'm saying, I just don't hear them saying that.
Yeah.
Saying that. So that in itself, most people experiences are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Totally
The one
different.
thing I do want to point out now that you said NDE is that, have you noticed that many religious people who did cross over come back and then turn spiritual?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, they realize
Atheists.
that religion, atheists, yes, are spiritual. And even the most religious people come back and they turn into spiritual people, because they're saying that stuff that they're teaching you, none of it's true. God is not angry. God is not jealous. God is not going to just beat you down. He is love. It is love. She is love. Whatever that full energy is nothing but love. That's why I say in the end, it's just all it is love.
Yeah,
And
that's what
that's
I'm
all we take
trying to
with
say.
us. And that's all we send back. And nobody is coming back and saying, yeah, I went through a life review and they showed me all the crap I did and made me pay for all of my sins. Not even one person has said that.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, and when I say the devil's a symbol, because it's used for fear and control.
That's right.
That's what it's used
Exactly.
for. And so I just see it very clearly as that, and it works on people, and it leads people towards even terrible things. So I think that, like you're saying, it's not real in the way that the only thing that you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here, the plants wouldn't be here, nothing would be here without love and compassion and all those things. There's literally, it's not a means to any end. So,
but don't you think that because we can create anything that we focus on, for those people, and I do know some, for those people who have that religious background that the devil is real and the devil is going to get you and the devil's going to, I truly do believe that because they believe it so fiercely, that they have devil related experiences because they believe it so wholeheartedly.
definitely.
They have very negative, fearful, very real to them, very scary experiences. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe in dark energy. Let's let me get that out there. But when someone's like, I saw the devil and da 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 da, I think that because they have been taught to believe in the devil, probably equal to God, but even more so than God, because they figured out they can control them more effectively through fear. A lot of those ministers preach evil and devil and fear more boisterously than they talk about God. My son went to church with somebody one day and he's like, I couldn't even take it. All they talked about was the devil. I thought church was supposed to be about God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And you hear people say little things too. That person has an evil spirit, and this could be a religious person. So sometimes you don't even understand the words that you are speaking.
Right.
Because you still said the word spirit. So spiritual, at some point, you believe some kind of spirit,
Yeah.
But just like you were saying, London, like the Salem, and I was talking about this, I think, on a podcast before, Salem Witch Hunt. I said it wasn't about witches at all. It was about women, about witches. So people can have you think whatever they can convince you of thinking.
Yes.
Your words are powerful. So my mom always said, be careful what you say. Use your words carefully because they have power. So like Laura, what you were talking about, people can create those type of scenarios for themselves.
That's
because
right.
That's how they think.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and spirituality is just a way of taking control of what comes to you in your life.
Yes.
Many people do not understand that. Many people are like, oh, you're meditating. You can't control anything that happens in your life. I'm here to tell you you can. Meditation, what do you think you're doing when you pray? If you're praying for someone's healing but have no expectation of them getting better, then why are you praying?
Ooh, yes.
You are literally controlling that vibration around that person. If you don't feel like you have any control, If you're there asking God to help you with bills or debt and financial freedom, but you don't believe it can happen, why are you asking? And if it does, who do you have to thank for that? God? Of course you do, but you were co-creating with God because you were focused on the outcome instead of the situation.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do something. You just can't sit and pray all day without work. You
Mhm.
you will have to. And a lot of people
Amen.
In that
say
direction.
that. Hmm?
Mm. You have to be moving in that direction,
Yeah.
where you're focusing your energy on.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Be-
sometimes people pray and think they're talking to Santa. Just
yeah,
can I have this? Can I have that? Enjoy this.
My wish list.
yeah. Because I
And
feel like
it-
praying and meditation, you're prepping yourself subconsciously and mentally through to whatever reality you're creating. So you're creating that energy, but it's not gonna go anywhere if you don't take advantage of it. So I really wanted to, let's say I wanted to really be in a band. I really want to play music. If I don't pick, there's all sorts of awesome opportunities I ran into, but if I didn't pick up a guitar and practice every day, I wouldn't ever run into the opportunities I ran into, um, you know, just by only sitting there and hoping and meditating. Because I'm
Mhm.
really good at meditating. I I'm pretty sure I can get whatever I want if I think about it hard enough. I've seen some crazy stuff happen in my
Yeah.
life. So um, it's nothing though without effort, because you're creating the energy, you're creating the space, but you have to actually get up and put in the energy to receive those blessings that are out there. It's real. You just gotta, everything is real and out there. Literally, everything's free in a way. You just have to get up and go get it. And I don't mean that in like a hustler mentality. I'm just saying, like, spirituality can open your mind to realize that you're worthy of whatever you want and you can go get it. But now it's time to be in alignment with that mentally. Because let's say you really want something to happen, but you're not in alignment with it mentally and spiritually. You're not meditating on it. It's not going to happen. It's not in it. And so many things, even if you think it's happening, so many things in your life are going to start going wonky that it's just going to be like, all right, this wasn't for me, or like something like that, or I need to focus on this, or, so even if you have the energy to do it, if you're not mentally preparing yourself for it and meditating on it and creating that energy, I don't think it's going to happen the way you want it to. So,
Right.
And I think you need to be aware of what you're really calling to yourself. I think that you can bring things to yourself, even if you're focused on it, but you're not very specific enough.
mm-hmm.
It can come to you
Yeah.
in the wrong package.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more specific you are and the more you really look inside your mind or your imagination, you'll be able to drill down more to bring the correct thing to you. Because if you're putting it out there, I want, for example, if you're a woman, I guess a man too, I want to attract a man that's 6 foot tall with blue eyes and amazing hair. You may have a 6 foot man with blue eyes and amazing hair that comes to you that is a complete asshole, that might be a mass murderer, that might be not assertive enough, and they're just not on your same mental level. When you are asking for something, drill down to the very nitty gritty details. That is not something bad. That's you being focused. If you want a great business, what kind of business do you want? What kind of money do you want to make? What you don't have to bog it down with the heavy details of how am I gonna get this man, throw out my fishing pole and reel him in? How am I gonna get him to come? That's not the key. The key is how would you feel if you had that business? How would you feel if you had that man? Hold on to that feeling. Now, you could do all of this in the form of prayer. Dear God, please bring me. You can do it in the form of meditation, pure focused meditation, thinking about all of the things you want to bring to you. Or you can do it by putting stones in front of you and drawing pictures, which would be considered casting spells, right? But it's all the same thing. Every last bit of it.
Yeah. The intent.
It is the intention, 100%.
Yep.
And if you're intent on being miserable, what are you going to get?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone misery, right?
And it goes back to our circle, people that are in your ear, all of those type of things, your surroundings. It matters. It matters.
Oh, it matters. Yeah, don't call somebody who's just negative, just hateful, and try to tell them your dreams.
Mm-mm.
They're going to tell you every reason in the world why you're crazy for wanting anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't tell everybody that you've met the love of your life, and even though I haven't known them very long, I'm going to go move with them, because what are people going to say? They're going to tell you every reason in the world not to, why you shouldn't do it, why you're fucking crazy, right?
Right.
So some dreams you have to keep close to your heart, keep them close to yourself, and tend to it like a newly planted seed, and let it grow, and then let people see the growth, because then they're going to come to you and say, hey, why is your plant so beautiful? What are you doing?
Love it. Love it.
So with that being said, we need to get on to the second part of our information tonight, and that is communicating with spirit guides.
This is something I know nothing. I think I know nothing about. I'd like to communicate with my spirit guide. We need to talk.
You just talk about it. It's the same thing.
I had a feeling it was going there, but I definitely want to hear. I want to hear about it. So.
Well, I think Nicole had the best question ever. What were you saying earlier today, Nicole?
I don't remember. What did I well, I kind of touched on it earlier. If I'm supposed to communicate with my spirit guides, they're my people, they're, whatever, then why wouldn't they just talk to me or communicate with me in a way that I can understand, or in a way that resonates? For me, I see signs everywhere. I mean, like, if it's that in angel numbers. So that's kind of how I get validation from my spirit guides. I don't hear. I've only heard a voice like twice, and but yeah. Now, Laura, you hear voices.
Don't make me sound crazy. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
That's funny.
I think, first of all, recognizing that you have spirit guides is the first thing to do. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't even know that they have spirit guides. So it's easier for them to communicate with you once you acknowledge that they're there. That
Yeah.
opens the door, right? I hope.
Yeah, I feel like I know that I have spiritual guides, and I feel like I've literally felt their presence. But also, I'm like, am I just neglecting them because I know I don't try to communicate with them, or I see signs and things, but I just don't have a I don't have that the the confidence or the hey, that's a sign. I think I have a problem with seeing like that's a sign. I should pay attention to it. And every time I ignore it, it's usually something I shouldn't ignore. So I know it's real, but I think for some reason I'm so logical and so analytical that I'll see something that should be a sign and I'll look at the numbers and say that no, it doesn't make sense. That's not how it's gonna be or something like that. So I just guess I want to be able to be more confident and taking when I do see signs or my spirit guides trying to help me along, taking that in as fully as I can instead of always questioning myself and like writing things like that off, I guess. So that's where I feel like I need to grow a little bit.
Well, I think when I first started doing readings, my fear of being wrong was greater than my focus on hearing and executing the message to the person across from me, because I didn't want to sound crazy, because sometimes you hear some crazy stuff, right? And you're like, what are they talking about? The tree out on the right of the door that has the sprinklers and the rabbit that, and you're like, I'm making this up. And then you find it somewhere inside yourself, in the beginning when I was doing it, to actually say it out loud, and you see the resin, it just lights up on their face, and they're like, oh my God, you knew that? How did you know that? And you're like, oh, thank God I didn't sound like a crazy person. In that same way, like you were talking about, you have to be bold with your relationship with your spirit guide. You were saying you don't feel confident in it. Just take the extra step to say, I'm not crazy. This is what I'm hearing or feeling or experiencing, and run with it. Just test it. What's going to happen if you just say, hey, I think I got this message today. I think my spirit guide is trying to talk to me. What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Because you probably didn't tell anybody about it. And so the only one that would feel crazy in the end is you, right?
Yeah. Hopefully.
But you then said, then something happens and you're like, oh, I should have listened. It's kind of a cross between your intuition and your spirit guide. If you quiet your mind and ask for a name, start there. See if they'll give you a name. Some people have one, some people have two, some people have three, some people have four. It depends on how crazy your life chart or your life plan was when you came to this side.
Yeah.
I'll try that tonight. I'll try that tonight.
And then listen. And if you get a name that pops into your head, don't think, oh, that's not their name. They would never be named that. Why in the heck would a spirit guide have the name of Henry James? Right? So start by asking a name.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, because also, it's a spirit guide is like it's just a non-physical helper, which is what we were just talking about earlier. Your intuition, your higher self, your spiritual realm, that's what those are, your spirit guides are. And they come through dreams, and they'll come through inner thoughts that are not your normal thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be like, what was that? And sometimes that's what that is. They'll also come through other people sometimes. I know you're like, what? But they will come through other people.
Mm-hmm.
And like certain things that may happen to you, and other people are talking about something that you may have been thinking about. That could be your spirit guide nudging you, like, pay attention. I needed somebody to help me, so pay attention.
Yeah.
So those type of things, again, it could be your ancestors, your higher self, and of course, regular guides.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a niece that used to always talk about my mother, but she never met my mother.
Okay. Hmm.
So that was an ancestor talking through her, through us. Never met her, knew her favorite colors were, said things about her, and we're like, okay, here
Yeah.
we go again. It will
Yeah.
happen all the time. So just pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when spirits or spirit guides are with me, like I feel like it is right now, I'll feel
Mm-mm.
pressure inside my ear. I'll feel like someone's leaning on me, putting pressure on one side of my body, or feel a sensation in my face. If you're just sitting there and you're alone and you're just being quiet, or maybe you're not being quiet for that matter, because I'm being loud right now, right? And you feel a feeling for no apparent reason,
Mm.
pay attention to it. And what comes with that feeling? Sometimes, have you ever just been sitting there and all of a sudden you just feel happy for no reason? You feel hopeful for no reason. I literally watched a blurb of unsettling news today about the United States,
Mm-hmm.
but felt hopeful and happy. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? So then you have to pay attention to the higher self,
Yeah.
to your guides. They were the one, more than likely, what was happening is I'm reading this, but my guides are saying, all is well. Everything's
Right.
going to work out for you. On the clear path. Move forward. Let this just be noise in the background if it must be there, but stay focused.
And also other little things that you can probably try to pay attention to. So say for instance, you're leaving out the house and you're like, dang, I forgot this. And I'm going, go back into the house. Usually that's somebody interfering with something because you
Mm-hmm.
needed to leave a little bit later. You don't know why, but
That's
like,
happened. That's happened
yeah.
where something has saved me a few times. A little thing that held me back
Mhm.
just a little bit.
Or you're like, don't go down this road. Let me turn around. I'm supposed to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
All of those type of things are your guides helping you. And then when you get a little bit more comfortable, because guys don't want to spook you either,
Yeah.
and go, oh, what is this? I need to sage my house because something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to spook you, but they will give you subtle things to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of saging your house will not get rid of the spirits that are there to help you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, saging brings improved health. Saging brings higher vibrations. Saging brings positivity into your energy space and gets rid of the negative vibrations that are around you. They're all different kinds of sage sticks as well. So when you're buying, actually read up on it, see what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
And that's totally off the subject of spirit guides, but it just
Well, Lord, maybe for the collective, we can dive a little bit deeper. I would love for us to even talk about fairies, which a lot of people don't talk about. And I think you and I talked about it.
right.
And it is so many things that have been discovered about
Yes.
fairies lately that will blow your mind.
Right.
I would love to hear about that.
Yes. And I think that's something that, people might be interested in. Because that may be something they can kind of see, but don't believe in it. But it's very, very true.
There's
And
a
so,
lot of truth out there. There's a lot of unknown out there. There's a lot of mythical beings.
Bigfoot. I want to see
Bigfoot is
on
real.
my feet.
We don't even need to
I'll
talk
say
about
this
that.
one thing about fairies. There used to be this society, I think it still goes on now, that like certain elite people that knew about fairies, and they had this whole like board. And guess who was like one of those elite members? Walt Disney.
Oh.
Thus, Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really interesting.
That is
Yes.
interesting.
Yep. So I just got goosies.
Yes, there's so many things to explore
Yes.
out there, you guys. So many things to talk about. So many mythical creatures that were actually real at one time. So many things that we can cover during these hours of our talks.
I want to add one more thing.
One
It'd be
more.
great to talk about for next
Okay.
time, but natural healing.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I recently had the worst toothache I've had in my life. I don't know about toothache pain for you guys, but it's one of the worst pains I've ever had. And I was sitting there thinking I need to go to the hospital. And then I called my mom. I was like, what do you think? And she said frankincense and salt. In my mind, I was thinking, what's this strong? Give me like morphine or something. And I just did that, salt, and brushed my teeth with a drop of frankincense. And literally about 30 seconds later, pain was completely gone. I was like, nothing happened. It wasn't making sense in my brain. I'm like, how is this happening? Because it was so painful, and I was already on like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen.
Woo!
So it was not. I was not feeling well, and so immediately, just the pain was gone, and it's been gone since. I think I've just kept up with it for a couple days, and nothing, no pain. It's just insane to me how
To
simple
think about it, it was one of these
it can be.
most famous herbs that they traded back in the day. Frankincense, myrrh. They knew the power.
Yeah,
yes.
they knew something for sure.
Yes.
Legit. Mhm.
Yes. So an episode on natural healing would be great for so many people out there.
Yes.
So that's great, London. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're really going to shut it down now. We appreciate all the love that you've been giving us, all the watches and the likes. We really, really need your comments because we can really carry these conversations on further and make it personal for you and answer any and all questions that you have, or at least try our best to do that. We just want to take this time to say thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. We will see you throughout the week with our reels, and we appreciate all the love and energy you give us. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.